Kandi Burruss and Todd Tucker, How Custody Entered the Narrative. Kandi Burruss and Todd Tucker, How Custody Entered the Narrative. OMG, you guys, it really looks like Todd Tucker has taken off the gloves. He's going after Kandi, and he's going after Kandi hard. And to be quite honest, I'm not sure if this is what his plan was from the very beginning, or if now that he's facing a divorce, he has to get as much as he can get. I mean, I don't know which one is true. I really don't. Because if you look at the paperwork that hasn't been sealed yet, Kandi's asking for it to be sealed, but it's not sealed yet. If you take a hard look at the paperwork, it's no doubt in my mind that Todd Tucker is going after sole custody of the children. And this is why Kandi had to file the paperwork that she did today. So let's take a look at the paperwork today. So here's the article in its entirety. I'm going to read the whole thing, and then we'll go into more options that we need to talk about. But let's talk about this first. So it says, the Real Housewives of Atlanta alum Kandi Burruss called out her estranged husband, Todd Tucker, for allegedly not seeing their kids a ton since their divorce. On Thursday, January 8th, Kandi filed court documents demanding a hearing be set to determine parenting time and child support as part of her divorce from Todd. She goes on to say the kids have significant monthly expenses that include a nanny, tuition, extracurricular activities, birthday parties, medical bills, travel, and daily needs. She goes on to accuse Todd of failing to contribute to the maintenance and support of the children and their needs, leaving it solely on her. She goes on to say, Todd doesn't pay for anything. She pays all the bills, including the mortgage, anything that the children may need, and Todd only uses his money for his vacations. She goes on to say, Todd does not exercise parenting time with the minor children on a significant basis, despite the facade of his 2 to 3 minute social postings on his YouTube channel called Daddy Daycare. She goes on to say that Todd intentionally interfered with the custody time, her time to see the children. She said during the recent Christmas holiday, Todd attempted to prohibit the children from traveling to New York to visit Burruss, even though she had previously incurred cost of travel for the children and provided Todd with significant notice of her intent to exercise parenting time. In other words, Kandi wanted the children to come up to spend time with her in New York, and Todd shut it down. And then Todd said in his paperwork that Kandi has engaged in a public press tour, including making statements directly and through her agents to multiple media outlets, and has continued to publicize the existence and substance of his litigation on social media and in the press. In other words, Todd is accusing Kandi of working with other blogs and magazines and putting out there to the public what she wants out there. Therefore, he doesn't see a need to seal the records. Now, if you've been on my channel for a long time, you know that's what Kandi does. She tries to control the narrative by working with blogs, by, working with magazines and things like that, which isn't a bad thing. A lot of celebrities do this. However, a lot of celebrities aren't going through a divorce. And not just a regular divorce. This divorce is turning ugly. The gloves are coming off, people. Because like I said earlier, it looks like Todd is going for sole custody. This is why Kandi had to file her paperwork saying, well, stop everyone, stop. Don't believe what you've seen on television for 13 years or however long he was on the show. Playing Daddy Daycare, okay? On the show, it really showed Kandi being a woman with a very busy schedule. Todd doing all the raising, essentially. I mean, not to be mean towards Kandi. It looked like, let me put it this way, that they had an arrangement that Todd would take care of the children and Kandi would bring in the money. And because you've done this on national television, on a very popular show, it's going to be hard now to say, well, wait a minute, he didn't take care of the kids like you thought he did. He really just pretended to take care of the kids, and I was the one doing all the taking care of. Listen, I'm not on any team right now. I'm just looking at this as a, innocent bystander. That's not gonna fly, Kandi. It's been established for years that Todd not only takes care of the kids, but has several times on national television asked you to slow down. People always say, Kandi's all about her bag. She's making her bag. So her reputation, she has a reputation of not really, I hate to say this. How do I say it where it's not offensive? I wouldn't say raising the kids or just hands-on. Let me say it that way. You don't have a reputation of being hands-on with the children, which isn't bad. Everybody loves a modern woman that, can do both, take care of the kids, and what's that song? I can bring home the bacon, fry it up in the pan and all that. But it might look bad for you during a divorce. And let me tell you guys this. Todd has a very shrewd attorney, Randy Kessler. He's been on the show a couple times before. He's very, very good. And he's going to use any and everything, I feel, to put Todd in a good light. So Todd walks away with a good amount of money and just, a good deal. He might even use Kandi's taglines against her. I'm telling you, when people go through a divorce, the gloves come off. Do you guys remember on season 4 when Kandi said, I'm not afraid of work, but I'm afraid of not working hard, indicating that she's a hard worker, giving into the narrative that, she doesn't have a lot of time for the children. I hate to say that because that's not necessarily true, but it's going to look bad. What else did she say? I went through these other ones. Let me see. Season 9, people, don't check for me unless you have a check for me, indicating that she works a lot. And it can look like to any judge, okay, all you talked about for the past 10 years is your bag and how much you work. Now all of a sudden you want to say, well, I'm really the caretaker, and all that daddy daycare stuff that we saw for 10 damn years, his YouTube channel, all that was fake, and we're to believe you now? I'm telling you, I have nothing against Kandi. I'm saying a way a judge could look at it. You even said in this lady's paperwork that he doesn't pay for anything. I'm the one that pays for everything. Well, how do you pay for everything? They're going to say you have to work. She's working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Also from this paperwork, it could look like Todd set Kandi up from the very beginning. Now, I hate to say it because I don't know how, what's in anybody's heart or if they really loved each other or not. But I'm saying Todd's been talking that daddy daycare shit from day one. From day one. He made it very obvious. He cried on camera, cried as in begged her to stop working so much. Over and over and over again. Name one other man that we know on reality television, not just the Real Housewives of Atlanta, that calls himself Daddy Daycare and really emphasizes how he takes care of his children. I just want to know, am I just being too hard on Todd, or was this a setup from day one? Because we all seen it on national television. Todd begged, okay? He begged Kandi for children. They even used a surrogate when she was really busy and didn't have time to be pregnant. Was this a setup from day one? You have to question it, you guys. This is divorce time. You have to question every single move. Because he knew what was in the prenup. The audience didn't, but he knew what was in the prenup. So if you know what's in the prenup, pretty much you're going to walk away what you came in with, which is nothing, and things that you guys worked on together, you can have a 50-50 split. If you know that, do you beg this woman to have children as a security blanket for you financially? I'm not saying Todd's a bad guy. I'm not saying that was his plans, but I'm saying it looks a little suspicious. That's all I'm saying. It looks a little suspicious. And by you coming out and playing hardball and telling her secrets, we all know that Kandi works very closely with the blogs. And she made it public when she decided to give certain bloggers gift baskets. Kandi, publicly, girl, that's not how the game is played. You know, every single cast member throughout the franchise, not just on Roa, they get with their favorite bloggers and they work with them, but they don't make it public. They don't talk about it on national television. You don't have the bloggers coming on say, "Hey, Kandi gave me this gift basket." No, Kandi. Because if you can prove during a divorce that you're working with the media, then there's gonna be no need for the records to be sealed, because that means you're gonna run back and tell them what you wanna tell them anyway, and it's gonna make Todd look bad. That's pretty much what he's saying in the paperwork. So I doubt if these records get sealed, because he just exposed what she does. And that means her wish for these two to remain friends, I don't think it's gonna happen, people.
Grace says, do you at least see you and Todd being friends after the divorce? Yes. I think after a divorce, I think anybody should be able, hopefully. Don't get me started lying.
Won't that age well?
I hope we get to be friends. Like, that'll be my goal. But you know, I think when you're going through the divorce, people get on your nerves and you really start looking at them differently. Yeah. So that's why I'm like, I'm hoping that we can make it through unscathed.
Yeah, like I said, Kandi, I don't see that wish coming true, because he just checkmated your ass. He really put you in a no-win situation. There's proof, more than enough proof, that he was the caretaker of the children. If he gets sole custody, you're going to have to pay this man, which you probably didn't want to do. And Mama Joyce is going to hit the roof and come on her. She's going to start her own YouTube channel and cussing you out, telling you, "I told you so." Now, again, I'm not always right. I'm just telling you how I look at it. And you guys know I'm wrong probably 80% of the time. Because we can't just assume that Kandi's going to win. No. She could end up the next Mary J. Blige. Remember, she had to pay that damn husband and hers, what's his name, Kendu, $30,000 a month, plus a lump sum. I believe it was $235,000 cash. Halle Berry, I mean, oh my gosh, she really lost big. I think she had to pay both of her ex-baby daddies $16,000 a month a piece, okay? And then who else? Toni Braxton. Carrie wasn't worth a damn, okay? She had to pay Carrie. So when people say that Toni Braxton took care of those no-good sisters of hers, except for Tamar, we need to add Carrie's name to that list. Now, as far as getting the record sealed, I just don't see that happening either. And what's even crazier about that is I don't have an explanation. I just feel like they're not going to seal the records, because everything's out there already. And Kandi has asked the judge if she could use clips from their wedding special. And what would it hurt? It's not hurting anything now. That's just how I feel. I could be wrong. Let me know down in the comments section if you think differently. But as far as I'm concerned, I definitely see, in my mind, beyond a reasonable doubt, Todd is getting ready to ask for sole custody. And Kandi knows it. That's why she had a turnaround, a complete turnaround. Now he doesn't pay for anything. He really doesn't spend time with the kids. I'm telling you guys, a battle of all battles is getting ready to come up for Kandi and Todd for custody. And it's going to be a doozy. It's going to be pound for pound, as they say. And I don't see them sealing the records. What else did we talk about today? I mean, it's just not looking good for Kandi, in my opinion. But if you have a difference of opinion, let me know down in the comment section so we can all talk about it, because maybe there's something I'm missing here and, you know, all of that. But anyway, so I'll meet you guys down in the comment section. Until next time, bye for now.
Grace says, do you at least see you and Todd being friends after the divorce? Yes.